So, I'm talking about my experience at Buckingham Palace as a youngster when I was invited to a tea party there. Definitely shades of Bridgerton, where you were presented amongst the royal family. Now, these days, if you're going to some royal event, you can look up the etiquette on the internet. Back in the day, decades ago, that didn't exist. Yes, I am that old. Pre-internet. So they used to send you a piece of paper with all the suggested social etiquette and rules to follow. Now, there's a whole load of them, including dress code, which I'll come on to, but also about shaking the hand of Her Majesty. Now, my father taught me as a girl to have a really good handshake, go for it. But that's not what you do when you're shaking Her Majesty's hand. You've got to bear in mind, she would shake thousands of people's hands. And if everybody did a sort of bear hug handshake to her, she'd have a poorly bruised hand. And so you are specifically to have what my father would have called a wet fish handshake. And it's more of a placing with no squeezing at all. And you would be wearing gloves. So that was one of the first rules I remember. There was another one as well, curtsying. And that comes from the word courtesy, by the way, about politeness. Well, curtsying is not for those with bad knees. It involves putting one foot behind the other, often the right foot. I don't think it has to be. And the ball of the foot, and then it's a vertical bobbing down and up. It's not a sort of folding over in a collapsed heap. So you would practice your curtsy before going. Your arms aren't involved, they can just be at your side. But yes, my knees would definitely shout at me. And another aspect was about your hat. This would not have been allowed. It is allowed nowadays in the royal enclosures, I think. This is a fascinator, like a half a hat. But then it had to be a full-on proper hat. And in fairness, I don't think I've ever seen Her Majesty wear one of these sort of mini fascinators. I think I've only ever seen her wear full-on brimmed hats. So that's what we had, gloves and hats. I'll go on to the dress code and what happened in the next part.